Yes, sir.
Okay, right.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Let me share my screen. So before break, we were trying to deploy a machine on Linux. So let me do that. Is
So
anyone?
I got it done. There was a
Okay.
small mistake in the code. That's it.
Yeah. What was that?
We missed the closing this thing. We missed the bracket and apostrophes.
Oh, okay. Can you just put it in the bridge?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Just share it. We'll use that. Okay. Yes. Fabulous. Thanks to Shreyas for looking into the code. It fixed now and absolutely works fine in Linux machine as well. Can you all see this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Let me turn off this machine and please go ahead and create a image from this machine. Once you turned off, you are good to create a disk images, and create an image. This I'll call it as Linux web server image. Source disk you can take it from Linux web server master. Multi-regional should be fine. And please go ahead and create a Linux web server image. Can you all do this now, guys? Okay, my Linux web server image is ready. I would like all of you to make sure image is ready. Once you are all ready, I'm good to proceed. Let me know once you are done. I'll wait for you guys now.
I am done. So
Okay, let's hear from others as well.
I am done too, sir.
Okay. Can I hear from others?
Done, sir.
Okay, right. So let me create an instance group using Linux instance. This time I will increase the percentage. I'll not keep the percentage as 10. I'll keep the percentage as 50 now, so that you will see it will deploy only one machine at a time. And later, once the load goes high, then it will deploy remaining machines. Create an instance group. I'll call it as Linux web server online reset line. This is instance group. Multi-zone written US West 1 instance template. Create an instance template. It's gonna be custom image. Right. Custom images. Linux web server image. Select. Verifying the networking. Yes, it goes to US West. All good. Now save, continue. Auto scale. Yes, we do need auto scale. Let it be CPU utilization to 60%. Let it be, not an issue. And maximum, I'm going to deploy only 2 machines. I don't want 3 machines now. So ultimately you should know that when the utilization goes high, then it will deploy one more machine. Enable scaling controls, number of instances will be 2. And auto healing, yes. So we have done auto healing. We do have a single health check that can be applied to multiple um, instance groups, not a problem. Initial check delay 60 seconds. So I'm verifying once again. That's a group multi-zone US West 1. There is a template created. Auto scale yes. CPU utilization 60%. Right. Now, how many machine would be deployed by default? 1 or 2?
So I think one,
You don't think
because
one? It's one only.
yeah,
By
sir.
default,
But
it
I
should
don't know
be.
how much CPU it will take to boot a Linux machine. That's why.
Next machine, it will be lesser than 50% only. It will. But at any cost, it should not deploy 2 machine at a shot. Do you agree with me?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yes. Right. Can you all proceed now? Please have your instance group for Linux machine ready. And if you look into your VMs list, you should see one machine now. Can you see? It is deploying this machine. So we don't need this machine. Is just deployed through what? Machine is deployed through instance group. Okay, it works fine. I just verified. Okay, and once you're all deployed, let me know, because I'm gonna manually create some load to this machine. What I'll do is I'm gonna manually create some load in some time.
So what is the utilization percentage we have kept?
60.
Yeah, default, okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
I couldn't view that web page even after pasting the code. The same error I'm getting. I mean, a website can't be reached.
Okay, can you do me a favor? Can you just copy the code in a notepad
Yes.
and verify like this? Uh, verify once again. You just copy this code to a notepad and verify each section, like each inverted codes are closed, braces or tags are closed. Just verify and then try again.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah, it should work. I just tested now. It works.
So we don't have to give health checks this time?
We have to.
We have to, okay.
Choose the L check is it's like a separate template that can be applied to any number of groups. You can select an you should see one, there should be a existing one, you point it.
So for me, it deployed one instance and I checked it and it's working.
Okay, right.
Same for me, sir.
I got confirmation from two of you. Yes.
Same for me, sir.
Okay. So the utilization is around 50.23 and it is reduced to 0 now. Okay. Okay. Can you all confirm that from your end, all of you? Remaining people, can you please confirm?
Sir, it's still creating the instance group.
No, just refresh, man. See, for me, one VM should be running. That's all I want. Just refresh. Come to instance VM instances page. You should see a instance released. Can you confirm now? Others?
Done for me, sir.
Okay, right. So
Sir, how do you check that CPU performance, this thing,
yeah,
graph?
look into my screen. Go to instance group. Select your Linux web server instance group. You have monitoring tab. Change the parameter from auto scaled size to CPU utilization. Here you can see.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
Do you need some time, guys? Please answer. I'm gonna proceed. Unless and until you don't answer, I don't have a clue.
Done, sir.
Or do you need some time? Okay, I'm proceeding now. Look into my screen. If you are in between something, still you can pay attention. Like if you are deploying or a deployment is in progress, no problem, pay attention here. So here we need to bring something called the same Amazon example, but little twisted one. Have a look into this, all of you. So have a look into this. Here we are gonna hear a few naming conventions. Front end means is the one which will take the load from global users. Okay, and backend is the one where you are running your applications. So here I have clearly mentioned who is backend, who is front end. Who is front end here?
Load balancer.
Yes, from load balancer, it distributes the traffic to backend instances that is running on two different availability zones. Okay, and it works on the basis of round robin. You can see RR1, round robin 1, round robin 2, round robin 3, round robin 4. Load balancer works on to distribute the traffic. There should be a algorithm. That algorithm is called round robin algorithm. Through that, the load is being distributed across multiple machines. Does anyone heard about round robin? Okay. So now you can see there are 4 machines. The load is being equally distributed. So load balancer understands where is the huge traffic. Let's take load balancer understands that web server 1 is already is approaching 90% or it is not responding. So it will not send the traffic. It will distribute the traffic to other machines in the instance group. Load balancer is designed in a such a way that it can understand health check of all your machines. Load balancer knows where the load is, where the heavy load is running and where the low load is running. By default, algorithm is round robin and it can take intelligence call. It is designed with an intelligence. Load balancer here is a software defined load balancer in cloud. You see, I have put it in cloud. So it is a software defined. Through software, it will take the load and then it get it distributed. Is the diagram is understandable, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can take a screenshot and the headline is GCP application load balancer.
So one small doubt. Is it called load balancer in all the cloud services?
Yes, yes.
Okay, sir.
And here you can see I have linked multiple load balancers together. Okay, in cloud you will not have only one load balancer. In the backend there will be hundreds and thousands of load balancers are combined. But for you, you will purchase only this load balancer. What you see here, this section. So you will purchase only this, but in turn it is designed on thousands of load balancer that will help to pull the traffic from across the globe and will move it to your LV. From there it will get distributed.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Or it is like this. So you have a phone and you will get a phone call, and this phone call is coming from a nearest ISP tower, right? But the tower again, it is broadcasted from a different nearby towers. Finally, it will reach to you same way.
Okay, sir.
Yes. You took a screenshot now, all of you? Is it done?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Let's move on now. See what I'll do now. I'm gonna see, remember, still I have not brought up two machine in my instance group. It is still one only. Okay, later I will run. I'll bring it load on the machine, and you could see. You're gonna see that how I'm gonna bring a new machine based on manually stressing my machine. Okay, so that I will do it, or I'll finish that up so that it will be easy to finish off instance group at one shot. Okay, have a look into screen now. Currently I have only one machine, correct? But
Yes, sir.
this, I mean, if within this instance group you can see only one machine is deployed, but what is the limit we set it to? What is the limit we set in within the instance groups?
To two, I guess.
We have set the 2 instance. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
Right. If you look into this edit instance group, you see 2. Now what I'll do is I'm gonna increase some load on this Linux machine so that it will execute the condition. As soon it goes beyond 60%, it should deploy a new machine. Okay, so let's come back to my instance. For this, we no need to log into the machine. We can open in a browser as well. So next to this SSH, you see something called open in browser window. Okay, I'll open on this. I'll share you a stress command. I want you to execute along with me. Here is the stress command. Okay, have a look into my screen. My session is active in the browser console. Let me switch to sudo su so that it will move to a root user. This you know already, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now I just shared one command. Okay, see now what I'll do. I'll execute that command multiple times so that my CPU load will increase. I'll execute at least 7 times. Yeah, I executed 7 to 8 times, right? See now I just executed, and in Linux we have a command called top, top. If you put the top, it will show you currently running processes. Can you see the CPU percentage now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you see CPU percentage is increasing now. It is taking some percentage on the machine. Okay, so let me minimize this and come back to my instance group. select my Linux web server instance group. Oh, can you see this, all of you? It started deploying.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
See this. So it's as soon I executed. I can also find it under monitoring. Let's see the current CPU utilization. It is not updated. Let me keep it to 1 hour, and I can. It will update in a moment. So till 3/9 I have data. So let's refresh this. It is fetching the info. It is the instance group is busy. It is fetching the info. That is fine. We can also find it under details. Stack driver. Here you can clearly see that because of the load, so it is 3 312. See now, old size and new size. New size 2.0. Okay, fine. It works. So auto scaling works. We have tested manually as well. Now let's move on to pay attention. Are you in between, or are we good to proceed? I need confirmation from all.
So I am done.
Okay, right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you're done, I'm good to proceed now. The next one is called load balancer. Load balancing. The load balance. Load balancer. Load balancing. Look into my screen. You can search like load space balancing. It will redirect you to network services, and here we landed. And have a look into this. Load balancers distributes incoming network traffic across multiple VMs to help your applications and scale. Okay, right. So as I mentioned during start of our session, this goes like different sections, right? So let me brief those section areas to you. Look into my screen now. I'll take this color. So first section what we learned is creating a instance group. This is section A. And then we have learned about auto scaling. Auto scaling is section B. Okay, our learning project B. And the third one is load balancer. So all three are combining now. Okay, click on create load balancing, And for load balancer, you need one external IP. We call it as external public IP. That I will show you in a moment. I'll click on here. What kind of load balancer? This is gonna be application load balancer. So you have to choose HTTP or HTTPS load balancing. Hope everyone looking into my screen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'll click on start, and it is asking like what kind of load you have to balance. So whether it is a internet facing VM or local VM. So mine is internet facing or local VM.
So local.
No, it is
No,
internet
actually,
from internet to my VM because I want to manage traffic from external to internal, right?
yes,
The
sir.
load. I'll call it as from internet, and here you can give a name to your load balancer. So let me call it as what is that? Online book web server load balancer. Okay. Now, next section is backend configuration. So here you can mention backend services, create a backend service. So here you can call it as backend instance groups. Let me call it as backend instance groups, and here I am mentioning instance group, backend instance group. Can you see this? It is both are visible. Do you agree with me, guys?
So
First is Windows, and I have to separately create individual backend. So first backend group is Windows, and balancing method is utilization, maximum backend utilization. Let it be 80%. Okay, this is like till what load that load balancer should look into. So the machines can take like up to 80%. Have a look into this. Backend utilization calculated from CPU usage and other factors to determine if an instance should be considered as a candidate for a new request. Okay, yeah, let it be 80%. And maximum RPS, this is request per second actually. So this is no need to set now. This around all advanced stuff. So I'll just keep it default. And capacity, let it be 100%, like whatever the devices which I have assigned, let it be 100% in it, and click on done. And health check, so you can use your health check which we have used, um, which we have already used. So same health checks can be used here. Backend service, take this. Port numbers, port number between, okay, port number is 80. It is gonna use port number 80 for this, and click on create. So just now I added one backend. Similarly, you can add one more backend. Let's call it as backend instance group Linux instance group. Yes, and HTTP and instance group, this time Linux server, and utilization in percentage, let it be 80, and this should be fine. Health check, auto healing health check which I have created, that can be assigned here, and here the port number is 80 again, and enable logging, that's fine. Click on create. So now you can see I have added two instance groups. One is in East US, other one is in West US. Why I have created in two zones? Because let's take this zone had a natural calamity. Okay, this zone. See here, this zone would have had a natural calamity. Suddenly this zone is vanished. but still other zone will not be impacted, right, guys? All of you?
Yes, sir.
For a redundancy and failover, redundancy and failover load balancing needs to be enabled. That's why I used two different zones, availability zones. Move to next, and host paths, simple host path, let it be the default one, and front end configuration. Advanced host. Front end IP configuration is nothing but your load balancer public IP. So currently we don't have any IPs assigned to our load balancer. We need to create one IP. I'll show you now. Let's call it as front end front end IP for a load balancer, and it is gonna use port protocol HTTP. And here, very important, the IP address which you assign, that should be external static IP. Okay, I'll wait for you guys to complete at least two steps to assign your backend instance code, guys. So let me know once you finished this backend configuration, this section.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just little lengthy, so I'm just splitting it up for you.
So host and path rules are simple, right?
Let it be the default option. I'll tell you if there is any issue. I'll help you out. It should take by default. If there isn't any issue, I'll tell you like what needs to be set.
Yeah, okay, sir.
If you have finished backend configuration, halt it there. Just wait. We'll go one by one.
Sir, what do we type for port numbers in while creating backend?
Can you repeat again?
So what do we type? There is an option to type port numbers while selecting instance
80,
group.
80. Port number is 80. Let me know once you are all in the same page. Guys,
I am done, sir.
can I hear from others?
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
Okay, right. So have a look into my screen, everyone. Front end IP, if you look into this diagram, load balancer is also called front end. So load balancer required one public IP address. That IP address, you should keep it as in production always as an external IP. You can call that IP like front end load balancer IP, and you can reserve that IP. You know the differences between external IP and ephemeral IP, right, guys?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yeah. So external IP is reserved. As long as you manually release, it will not be released automatically or unassociated automatically. Okay, can click on done, and host or path it should take automatically. Let me check any unmatched. So correct only. It should redirect to instance group only, two different instance groups. Then right, I kept one for backend rule. Yeah, so the default will go to backend instance group, and the other one is new backend. I mean, it should redirect to two different instance groups. Okay.
Sir, I got lost while you were doing host and path rules. Like I was not able to follow.
You lost it. Okay, so have a look into this. Host and path rules will define like which path you should redirect to. Okay, can you see an option called add a host or path rule?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, here you have an option called advanced host or path rule. Okay, where you can click on add host or path rule. Inside this you can define like which path you want to assign it to. Here you can give a name. This is like Windows path rule. Inside this it will ask you to edit the rule, and you can select your backend services. See, one is for Windows, other one is for Linux. You can select individually. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Backend instance group. Right. Backend Linux system. Right. Both are done now. Now we can create. So you all can see online book web browser load balancer is being created. So what happens here is the load should distribute across two different zones. So please go ahead and create this load balancer. Carry on. I mean, you cannot remember the settings there, but you have to change to two different backend. You are good to create. See, it shows that two backend services, two instance group. Can you see this? I want you to make sure it shows two instance groups. Understood? Then only it is correct. Now I want all of you to look into my screen. Just 1 minute. Look into my screen. When I click on the load balancer, it will give a public IP to me. See here. This is the public IP. And you see now what I'll do. I'll copy this public IP and paste here. So it says that 404, that is an error, which means load balancers is yet to load. So we need to wait for at least 1 or 2 minutes. Load balancer will come up. So what happens here is, so when you refresh a page, first request, it will go to VM1, second request VM2, third request VM3, fourth request VM4. It will perform a round robin. Okay, it will take some time. Meanwhile, you guys can go ahead and deploy it.
Excuse me, sir. Sorry for asking this doubt again. While creating the host and path, one will be created by default, and another one we have to add, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
And one should point to instance group. I mean Windows. Another one is for Linux.
Yeah.
So while creating the front end part, what should we give for the IP address part, like
You should give a
Linux?
name. I'll show you now. Look into my screen. When you were in front end, see here, you need to provide a name to your front end. Okay, or I'll show you here. See here, add a front end. It will ask you to provide a name. On your right IP address, you should change it to create IP address. Can you see this?
Yeah.
You can create an IP address and then give a name to this IP address. I gave a name like this, front end balancer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir, can you show host and port rules once again?
Which one? Host
Host
and
and path rules.
okay. Yeah, you can see this here. Usually, path rules would be like where exactly the file is located. In Linux, it is located under slash, slash root, but in Windows, it will go to C drive. So that's why the path rule would vary for Windows and path rule would vary for Linux.
The host and path rules, can we go ahead with the default settings in which they
Yes.
have already separated two backends? Oh, okay.
Can you see my load balancer is coming up? Yeah, it shows that the server has encountered temporary error. So it is coming up. Try after 30 seconds. Because it has to look into 4 different backends. So it will take some time.
Yes, so I'm getting same.
Okay, you are getting 502?
Yes, so 502 server error.
It will come up. Wait, please wait.
Yeah.
It takes some time. Minimum, it's need a few more minutes, like 5 minutes.
So it's working now.
It works. Okay. Awesome, man. Okay. Right. And you see now, guys, okay, let's wait for others to confirm because we have to do some test actually. We'll wait for a few more minutes. I'll show you in another 6 minutes. So like what needs to be, how you need to test this. What we can do is we can shut down 2 machines, right? One in Windows and one in Linux. We'll keep refreshing this page. Still you see this page continue to display to you. And also we can remove one host group, sorry, instance group, right? And still you see this page is being displayed. We'll test pace by pace.
It's working for me, sir.
Very good. If you have done, if this page is displaying, then you have did correctly. Thing is, it is very lengthy task, that's why I have split into 3 sections to make you understand one by one. How about others?
Sir, I'm getting stuck at the host and path.
Okay, I'll help you. May I know your name?
George.
George. Share your screen, please. Okay. Let me take a control. Allow me a control. Yes. Hold on. So this shows backend instant groups is attached. Okay. And here, one moment, don't do anything. Which one is Linux? Backend 2?
Yeah, 2.
It is done.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
You can. I'll share screen now. I'll share my screen now.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll stop. 1 second, sir.
Okay. Fine. Others? That options are little tricky there. You have to check available options and then create one.
So we have to do it till the load balancer is up and running, right?
Load balancer should be up and running like this. Load balancer will show you like this. See here. When you click on load balancing, it should show 2 backend services, 2 instance groups. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah, done,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah. When you click on the load balancer, it should give you a public IP like this, and you copy that public IP, put it in a browser. It should show you your website. See, this is like Amazon.in, okay? All of you, this is like Amazon.in. Customer will never ever go to know like what is happening in the backend. For him, consistently a page is being displayed. Do you want a few more minutes or how is it? Shall I proceed? Guys?
I am done, sir.
No, if you have done,
Sir,
I'm happy for you.
few more minutes, sir.
Check with others. So few more minutes, okay.
Same.
Shall we proceed now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Look into my screen now, all of you. See, this is like Amazon.in. All users continue to browse, and traffic is, I mean, they will not use individual machines public IP. In Amazon, they will target to a specific IP
So
address. Like,
1 second. So I think your screen stuck. I don't know if it is just for me or for others. Yeah, now it's back. Now it's back. I think it's my internet connection.
okay, fine. Let me brief this again. In a production environment, users would be using load balancer IP only. Users are, they will use this under, we have a service called cloud DNS. So let me show this also. Have a look into my screen. As an external user, they will come and hit here only, this section only, right? This section is called front end section, and here users doesn't know where this IP would be redirected to. What they know only this Amazon.in. None of the user will use the IP address to browse to this website. Okay, if you ask me, behind Amazon.in we have something called A record. A record means alias record. It's like alias means what? Other name for Amazon.in is the load balancer IP. Okay. This would be, this specific load balancer IP would be behind this Amazon.in. So what happens? The global traffic is like this. When they type Amazon.in, DNS name will redirect to IP. DNS means domain naming system. This DNS name will redirect it to this load balancer IP, but load balancer task is what? It should immediately redirect to backend machine. So the load will come here. And this is happening in what you call nanoseconds. This just happen in nanosecond. They will not experience any performance impact in this. Okay, you understand this, guys?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they will never ever experience like what happens, and that's how this is working. What you see here, this website is being published. So what I'll do now, I'll stop one machine or I'll log in and stop a service. So what I'll do now, let's test, like it should keep redirecting, right? So let us test this. Navigate to VM instances. And remember, due to auto healing and all, it may deploy some other machines. But when we keep on stopping each machines, there is a delay of 1 minute. So let's see like how this works. So I have a public IP. I'll log into this machine. And Okay, I made one change on one of the machine, so I'll keep refreshing. Can you see this, guys? All of
Yes,
you.
sir.
The change as soon I made, can you see it is reflecting now? See, still the page is working. It went to some other machine. I'll refresh. Now it went to some other machine. Now it connected to some other machine. Now like that round robin, see, it has come back to that same machine. Now let me make one change in the Linux machine. Okay, see now I'll navigate to one of the Linux machine here. This is my Linux machine. And open. Okay, now I have a default path, that is vi slash var slash www slash html slash index.html. So this is the default path of that my website file. I'll navigate to that file. Yeah, now I'm gonna make change like this. This is from Linux VM. Escape. Save changes. Can't open the file while writing. Continue. Okay. Sudo su. You do it with the root user, then it will allow. Okay. I just copy paste this. This is from Linux VM. So this change is done. See now it shows this is from Windows VM, right, guys? I told you it will go
Yes, sir.
round robin method. Like first it will search in Windows and then it will go to Linux. Okay. See now how many times I refresh. This is one machine. One time I refreshed. Okay. It went to Windows machine. Okay. Again it went to Windows machine. Windows machine. Can you see? Okay. It will come to Windows machine only. It should navigate to Linux machine as well. Okay, so it's not getting redirected to Linux machine. So scaling, load balancing. We need to provide the path actually and the backend. So here the path, that complete path I have to give, that is slash excuse me. Okay, update now. Okay, path it is showing Linux group. Okay, anyhow the path is updated here. It should to take effect, it will take some time. Okay, I'll keep it some time now. Let it update. Okay, it's create automatically one star and then the complete path. Okay, let's try now. One refresh, second refresh, third refresh. Actually, it is redirecting to machines, but it is not showing. Okay. Let me verify that the changes which I performed is reflecting on the machine or not. Excuse me.
So what was the command you used to come out of editing?
Escape and colon. Escape colon WQ exclamation. I'm just testing. I'll give you the commands. I'm just testing like why it was not reflecting it.
Okay, sir.
A minute. I'll give you those commands. Don't worry. For me, if I show everything is perfect, then I can put it in steps to you. One moment. Need to wait to apply those changes.
So, but isn't that for Windows?
Yeah, it's for Windows only. I'm just trying whether this configuration is allowed for Windows.
Okay.
They would have simply kept a standard. I don't know why they wanna confuse this. I'll let you know the configuration. We don't want to spend too much time on this. I'll let you know. Like it, there is a small settings like we need to provide a path or the index file path. That's the only option. So I've tried. It's not taking up the default location. It's usually /index.html only. We usually use it. We'll test once again in storage topic there where we will keep our index file in bucket. That time we can test it. But you should know how this works. Doesn't mean that it is not successful. It is successful, but one of the load balancer is not. My intention was to show like how two different regions load balancer is being read. Two different host groups are redirected to a load balancer. Load balancer works, but the other backend which I added, it is not pointing. There is a configuration change. Okay, all good, guys.
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay, we'll take a quick break, 20 minutes break, and then we'll resume. Then we would be proceeding with the app engine, the next level of app deployment.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, we'll take a quick break now. Let me know if you all can view my screen.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So what you can do, you can delete those. Let's do some cleanups. We can delete those instance groups. Okay, it's failed to delete because we have to remove from the load balancing. Let's do that. Load balancing. Remove this load balancer. Okay, can you keep yourself on mute?
So mine says there is an error deleting because it is being used by backend.
Correct. It is used as backend. That's what. First, you should go to load balancing, remove there, and then you are allowed to delete it.
Yeah.
I just did that. There's a dependency. Like it's the same thing. Like if you have a virtual machine, you cannot delete a VPC. Same thing. I just removed. I'm just clearing my backends now. If you see load balancers next to it, there is something called backends. Select this, delete, and then you are good to delete your backends. Delete your instance groups. Right. Now it will allow.
So are we moving to next lab activity, or should we delete the load balancing elements we made?
You can delete the load balancer. So as I mentioned, when we go in detail in storage, there is an option to point your um, we have something called bucket. We can point our bucket content also as a load balancing. That time we can bring back that load balancing. Okay. Load
Okay.
balancing is not just used for virtual machine. Load balancing can be brought for storages also. So that time we can mention that slash root and the complete path, it will work. The only thing is syntax. You should remember the syntax, and the default syntax, which is traditional one, which I have used, it didn't took. And moreover, in production they'll not combine like Windows and Linux. Okay, I just want to show it to you like how it looks on both. Usually they'll keep it in Linux. If there is an existing environment, in that case the option is they'll go for Linux. If already a Windows applications in place, then as an alternative they'll go for Linux.
So that means, will you show us this redirecting Linux thing tomorrow or later? When you will show us?
Tomorrow.
Because okay.
Because what happened?
Nothing, sir. Okay, that's what my question.
See, load balancing lab is successful. Okay, it's not just redirected to a path that is Linux machine. As I mentioned, you can add one or more instance groups to redirect from front end to a back end machines. I just thought to show you the all possible combinations where there will be a parameter mismatch or syntax mismatch that I will show you tomorrow.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
So which template was that you just deleted?
That is for Linux template which we have created for instance group.
Okay.
Okay, it takes some time. That's checking some background services dependencies. Fine, we'll move. I mean, if you are able to delete, you can do what?
So my instance groups are deleted.
Okay, good. For me, it's taking some time. It's checking some dependencies. I'll delete in some time.
Sir,
So now,
one more question.
yeah,
Do we need that Windows template?
we don't need those also. We can remove those.
Oh, okay.
You mean the images are instant templates?
Instance templates.
Okay, you can remove the images also. They may not need it now. I mean, if needed, we'll later point in time we can create with some other customizations. You can remove as of now. Otherwise, it will be charged. So I just removed my images also. Right. Let me know if you are ready. I'm good to proceed. Guys?
Done deleting, sir.
Okay, fine. Shall we proceed? All of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
right. So
So
have a
should
look.
the VM instances also?
So VM instances, you can keep it in powered off state. We don't need to delete that now. Let's see. Let's finish off this app engine, and based on the timings we can plan. And moreover, we don't need instances also because we are moving to storage. So we can
So
delete
when I'm
this.
deleting this instance group, it's showing something like it's already being used by project. What should I delete before that?
Ah, for that, what you have to do is you have to navigate to instance group and click on backends, and you should first delete from the backend. Okay, and once that is done, you can come back to instance templates and verify whether the instance template is available. If yes, you can delete that.
Okay, okay, sir.
Yeah. Delete from instant templates. What is that? Load balancing backend, and then you are good to delete.
So did you just delete all your instances?
Yes, I have
Okay.
removed. Yes. So even though you deleted, you see still it shows that it's keep running because the page is not refreshed automatically. So sometimes this will happen, like even though the resources are vanished, removed, but still it keep displaying this message. It's not cleaned up. See, instance group it shows is still deleting, right? Or the log is here, right? But you see the instances are removed. Please proceed. If you want 1 or 2 minutes, I'll give you. If yes, then we can proceed with app engine. Guys, all of you.
One is I'm deleting, so
Hmm.
it's deleting for me. Done, sir.
Okay, all of you pay attention. Let's move on to the next topic. Called App Engine. Have you heard about serverless computing? Anyone? Anybody? Guys?
Yeah,
No,
sir.
sir.
Yeah, have you heard about serverless computing? If yes, what is serverless computing? Okay, let me help you out. See, for a traditional app deployment, what we did, we deployed one instance. Do you agree with me? It can be Windows or Linux machine. Do you all agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And then what we did, we have logged into this machine via username and password. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we don't need to log into any Windows or Linux machine. And as you know, when you if you want to run any application as such, first you need to purchase VM. Plus you need to log in and then apply your app licenses. So it was a two-step process. You need to deploy a VM and then deploy application. If there is any licenses for that application, you will use it. It was a two-step process. Now, with the introduction to App Engine, okay, you no need to deploy a VM. You no need to deploy a VM, or you will not be charged for virtual machine instance. Will not be charged for this. Instead, you will be charged only for your app running time. So it is like this. Through some, there was one sports app, I think. What is that app? I don't know. Through that app, sports app, you can book 1 hour. Okay, sport or something, some app. So what happens here, where you no need to rent for a longer duration, you no need to book for the entire day, like usually sports complexes like 8 hours you need to pay. But for your requirement is that only at morning I want to play. Correct, that app name is called Playo. Anyone heard about this Playo app? Through this app, what you can do is you can book a specific ground or an table tennis court only for 1 hour, and you will be charged only for 1 hour instead of entire day. Okay, same thing here in App Engine. You know, if you want to run an application, you no need to pay for the entire machine. Instead, you want to run only your applications for a specific duration, and you will only pay for App Engine running time. This is called App Engine. App Engine will by default will have this. Let me mention this. By default, App Engine will have pre-installed encryptors or compilers. So there are apps which are pre-installed. What are the apps? The apps like Node.js, Java, Ruby, C Sharp, Go, Python, or PHP. Okay, so all these applications are pre-installed. So if you remember, in a Linux machine, when we were about to upload our HTML code as such, so if you remember, there is a code here. The code says install HTTPD service. Can you see this, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Which means we are bringing up HTTP, that is web server service. In Windows machine, we have brought IIS service. We have to manually install, right, to publish a website.
Yes, sir.
Whereas in App Engine, you no need to do that. It is all pre-configured platform for you, and it is highly scalable. Point number 3. It is highly scalable and load balanced. Redundancy provided, redundancy. So it will have all this configured. It can be, you can scale it as long as your program is pretty lengthy and your files are lengthy and your website is lengthy. You can do that, and it is already load balanced. So whatever we have manually performed, right, to our web application, everything would be set up in the backend, and there will be a redundant path also would be provided. In case of your currently running machine is down, still there will be alternative replications would have been enabled, and at any cost your application will be up and running. Okay, it will be like 99.99% uptime. At any cost you will get 99.99% uptime for your applications. This is called App Engine. Compute engine means CPU, RAM, NIC card, hard disk. There all will be. You need to deploy all this, and then you will install an app. App engine means a engine comes with the required decryptors or compilers. Okay, it's a pre-installed machine, and you will not get access to EC2 and all. You don't need to. Sorry, you don't need to get to virtual machine and all. You can simply upload your code. Is it understandable, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and the only way to access this is via CLI. You will not get any GUI for this, and you need to use our gcloud commands. Okay, I'll give you the step-by-step procedure like how we can deploy our apps on App Engine. Okay, for that we need to have your file. I'll just share you a file. I want all of you to download this file. Keep it in your C drive. Extract and keep it in C drive. Let me show you. Have a look into my screen. This is my C drive, and I have created one folder called local storage, and within this I have kept a folder called App Engine. Under that I have HTML. Under that I have 3 files are folders. Okay, so now let me give this file to you. I want you to extract. I'll share to you in where is that chat here. Can you all download this file? All of you? Name of the file is called App Engine Source, and please extract into your C drive. So what I'll do, I'll keep this file outside only. So you can directly copy into your C drive like this. App Engine Source. Let me know once you're all done. It is in zip format. I want you to extract like this. Keep it in C drive. Done? All of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we
Okay.
can navigate to our command prompt.
So it's asking me some administrator permission and I'm copying in C drive.
Same here. It's asking in password for pasting.
You have a challenge of copying. Okay. Is that the same for all? It's not allowing you to copy?
Actually, when I tried copying the .rar file, it showed that administrator permission required. But when I copied the folder after extracting, it came properly, sir.
Okay. Can you all do that?
I did it normally. It like it went fine for me.
Okay. Others?
Yeah, for me also.
I don't know.
Actually, I
Sorry, what is that?
copied the RAR file and then created a new folder in C and then copied inside that.
Okay, whatever it is, I want one file to be there copied on your C drive. Is it done, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine, let's do this. As you know, the first command to use is gcloud init. Look into my screen. It will ask you like which one, which option you should select. Like you should select one, and then it will ask you the account info. So here you can select your account, that is in my case it is 2 Hotmail, and it will ask you to enter a project ID. So I don't have a project ID. I'll mention number 3. So it lists all the projects, and it lists all the projects. For me, the project ID is, let me quickly find my project ID. Project ID, here is Jigsaw. This is the one. Jigsaw ends with 1771. 1771.
I am not able to find my project ID within the list.
Okay, no problem. I'll help you out again. Look into my screen. You don't need to what do you call, you don't need to list your project ID. Let me tell you how to navigate your project. So it will ask you like use an existing project ID which you would like to use. In that case, we already know our project ID, right? See here, when you go to project section here, can you see this ID? Copy,
Yes, sir.
paste, copy and come back to this portal and press enter. Can you see current project is set to this. Do you want to configure default compute region and zone? Yes. In that case, in my case, I want to set it to US East 1, US East 1 B, that is number 1. That's all. You're all good to connect now. It's connected for me. I am inside my project now.
So how to go back to search the project?
See, you don't need to search a project, sir.
No, sir, not here. So in the command line, initially we
G Cloud,
chose to
see,
see the
projects.
list. Okay, okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Can you see this? See, it's showing many projects because they gave us what do you call admin rights. These are all the current running projects. Okay, they gave us admin rights because we had a issue, right? So
Yes, sir.
they gave us admin rights. That's why you could able to see other projects also. But don't touch other projects. Please use your project.
To do that, that's what I'm asking.
Sorry.
Initially it showed that which project do you want to use. So I chose
I'll
the
give you
third
the
option.
direct command. Hold on. G Cloud project set, I think. Yeah, G Cloud project set is the command. G Cloud project set and your project ID. What is that project? Okay, one moment. G Cloud project. Let me give you the direct command. Wait, you don't need to search too much.
But I was simply asking like how to go back to the previous stop, like before entering
Control
the
C.
Control C. Okay.
Yes. If you
Sir,
navigate,
choose between reinitialize the configuration or create a new configuration.
sir, you do one thing, sir. Please use Cloud Shell, okay?
Cloud Shell. Okay.
This again. See here, this is what the command actually. G Cloud config set project config. So it's not G Cloud project set. G Cloud config set project and your project ID. Super. Updated core project ID. Yes, guys, I'll give you this command. You please execute this on a local machine itself. If you have issue with the local machine, then you can use Cloud Shell. Other than you are good to use this. If you are using Cloud Shell, again we have to upload this file to some third-party portal, then we have to download that folder again. So to avoid this, you can simply use this. I just gave one command, right? Can you all use that, please?
Yeah, works for me, sir.
Okay, fine. That's all. So once you set that project, have a look into my screen. Everyone, let me know if you have successfully connected to your project.
I do, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
great. Okay, great. So this is what you're gonna do now. The next command is called gcloud app create. Okay, and you see a message here, creating an app engine application for your project is irreversible and the region cannot be changed. That's okay. So where do you want us to deploy, all of you?
US East 1, right? Yeah.
Right.
15.
So 1515. So you all can see creating app engine application in this project. So it shows that the app is now created. Please use gcloud app deploy. Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I want you to be in the screen, and then we should redirect our path to uh, the folder which I have provided, and then we use a command gcloud app deploy. When I click on this, automatically the content in that location will get uploaded to cloud and our app will be published, and it will give one URL path also.
So first command is gcloud app create, right?
Yes. I'll make a note, sir, for you so that it will be easy for you. I just forgot to put it in a step now, so let me do that. App engine, point number 1, gcloud config set your project id. Command number 2, gcloud app create.
So first step, it's gcloud config set project ID, right, sir?
Gcloud config set, no, gcloud config set project. One moment.
Project is there, sir.
Okay, let me see. Yeah. Yes, gcloud config set project and your project id. Absolutely. Project id, and prior to that I want you to launch cmd command prompt, type gcloud init, and gcloud app create. And once you execute this command, you need to navigate to app folder. Here in my case, the app folder location is this: C drive, app engine source, HTML. This is my path. Fourth command is, once you have navigated, use a command use a command gcloud app deploy. Okay, and once you are deployed, you can use a command gcloud app browse. Okay, I'll just provide this. Let me know once you have received this.
So navigate means just to know the path, or should we paste it somewhere
Look
after
into my
copy?
screen. Navigate means please wait. I have not executed yet as of now. Look into my screen. Navigate means see here.
Yes, sir.
cd dir. So currently I am in C directory. The required path form is app engine. So either you can provide the complete path, or you can type, like, you can type a first character like this, type app and press tab button, and then press slash. Within that we will have a folder called HTML, right? We can directly navigate like this. Again dir. So we have the required file. Yes, we are in the correct path now. This is what my path is: app engine slash HTML. Here I have provided, right? Where is that command? Can you see this? Same path. Done, all of you? Are you all in the same path?
Yes, sir. Not yet, sir.
Let me hear from others as well.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Okay, let's get
So
confirmed.
one question,
Yes.
without searching and doing that, can we just do CD and paste the
Yes, yes, yes,
address?
yes.
Yeah.
It will, yeah. Hmm. I have shown that search path so that, let's take somebody would have kept within some other folder. In that case, it will be easy for them to search. Let me know what is done, all of you. Done, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Guys?
Sir, it says navigate is not recognized.
See, in my case, this is the path. Okay, I have
Oh,
navigated.
sorry, I